What's going on today there, YouTube? It's time for another react. And today we got another Mike Israetel. If you can't tell that I really like Mike Israetel, then I don't know what you've been watching. Nah, but seriously, we got the best way to grow your upper pecs today. And so he's going to break it down for us, and we're going to see if we agree. If we disagree, he's not going to like it if we do disagree. But, yeah, let's go ahead and get it started.
Pecs best. First question, what are the upper pecs? They are the clavicular fibers of your pectoralis major muscle.
This guy here.
They have the function of bringing your arm in and up at the same time. This looks familiar, then you've either seen a lot of robot demo videos or you know how to do incline pressing and incline fly work. It's located between your front delt and your mid-pec, sandwiched somewhere in between. And here's the thing, your upper pecs are stimulated with all pressing moves, even decline moves, not just inclines.
Okay.
So your upper pecs grow from all kinds of pressing moves, but they do grow fractionally more from incline work, work in which the angle is tilted towards the clavicular fibers, up as you go in. That is the most specific way to target the upper pecs, but it is not the only way to target the upper pecs. It is not categorically the best way in every single circumstance.
See, and I kind of like this idea, if you're going to work on your pecs, you want to try to get everything you can, right? Now, the upper pecs do give you more fuller chest area look, to really round that out and make you look even more, buff, so to say. So let's see what he says.
That's what the upper pecs are, and that's fundamentally how they're stimulated. Why do we want them to grow? Well, I don't know. You clicked on this video. But seriously, they give you an armor-plated look. I don't know what thumbnails the guys are going to use for this, but there's some pictures of me, Scott the Video Guy, in which my upper pecs look pretty cool. It's just like if you have this shelf jut out and then come down, it just looks like you have armor on at all times, and it looks badass. I have found that older Senegalese women just adore the look on me personally. So take me to Senegal, baby. What's up?
Yeah.
What's up, queen? Anyway. Oh, I'm married. But in a time machine.
Senegal.
In any case, what principles do your upper pecs grow best on? First is the correct angles. I'll tell you about that, what in practice that looks like in a bit. So you got to get the angles correct.
Right.
You have to have good technique.
So I try to do my incline presses. I really love the dumbbell incline press. I don't really do the barbell incline press too much. It seems like I've gotten plenty of growth with just a dumbbell. And I usually try to go for like a 45-degree angle, so that I'm sitting more up. And then I'm pressing. That way I'm not as flat. Like below 45, I feel like you're kind of laying down a little bit more, and it's not really inclined. So
you have to have eccentric control, some eccentric control. You have to have ramped
I probably
loading.
need to work on that.
Loading that increases, reps potentially to increase, and sets that increase. We'll talk about an example in just a little bit. And you have to demonstrate some strength progression over time in most cases. And another really big one is you should be hitting your upper pecs probably a few times per week, at least once, maybe 2 or 3. And you have to hit them fresh in many or most of them.
I wish I had time for 2 or 3 times a week, That really would be a great thing for my physique. I think I've done pretty well with, the 1 to 2 times a week. But it would be nice to really have enough time in my life for that. Maybe if this YouTube thing pans out, I could do that for a living. Oh, yeah.
Most cases, which means you can't put your upper pec stuff at the very end of a 5-exercise workout plan.
Right.
It's got to be exercise 1 or 2, and then it works really well. So let's take those principles and actually turn them into practice.
Talking about.
On the angles side, what does that mean? That means lots of incline work. But incline work and upper pec work more generally exists on a spectrum of flat pressing all the way up to high incline pressing, which you are basically like pressing at a 60-degree angle. And even some shoulder pressing can hit the upper pecs really well, especially if you arch your chest up and retract your shoulder blades. That means that flat is good. The flat bench press and dumbbell press actually grow the upper pecs a lot, but they grow the mid and lower pecs so much that your upper pecs don't stick out more, which is a lot of times what people want.
Right.
So if you want to grow the upper pecs just about as much, maybe a little bit more, and if you want the lower and mid pecs to grow less, inclines start to be good. And inclines can be low inclines. Those are awesome. In fact, very low inclines have some of the best data on total pec activation. I wouldn't take that too far, but it's kind of neat. Medium incline, 30 degrees or so. 45-degree incline works. High incline works.
That's my
60
favorite.
degrees, etc. Try them all. And I would say always.
I'm going to go ahead and try that 60-degree incline. That sounds something I haven't done before. So, that's it's a pretty big angle. So I'm going to give that a shot and see if that makes my pecs. See, the 45 is what I feel like hits my upper pecs a little bit better, but I've never gone past 45 if I'm being honest. So I'm going to try the 60 and see if that gives me any more muscle fatigue or muscle stimulation.
Try to do a combination of these angles in any 1 week. None of that fully optimal BS where you find that 17 degrees was the ideal angle and 12 recreationally trained Nordic undergraduates from 1992, and that's the only shit you ever do. You put on a couple plates, get your goniometer going, right? Okay, it looks like, 17, nope, one more plate, 18 degrees, great. All right.
I don't follow people's studies. I don't do that. You see, everybody's different, so I follow basically what gives me the most pump in that area, what gives me the most onset fatigue. So like a day or two afterward is my muscle that I was trying to target sore. So if it's not sore, then I obviously most likely was not targeting that muscle. So that's my bigger indication of, did I do this the way I'm supposed to?
We're doing that, and I'm never doing any other press or fly or any kind of movement that's out of that angle. That is just total nonsense because variation is awesome. You never can quite tell how your own personal physiology and anatomy will respond unless you try multiple different angles. So from both of those perspectives, make sure it's just some incline work gets in there, and you're pretty much good to go.
Your own personal physiology.
As far as the technique side, you got to do a full range of motion, get a deep stretch. If you're ultra stretching your pecs at the bottom, you're doing really well for yourself.
Right.
If you're not, you have some things left to be desired.
That's why I like the dumbbell press a whole lot better than the incline bench press, because I can get a whole lot deeper. I can bring those dumbbells all the way to the chest, and with a bar, you can't really do that, so you can get much deeper stretch with the dumbbells. Now, I do love the bench press. I love the decline. I love the flat bench. And you can't get as deep a stretch with those, but you can go all the way to the chest and get as deep as possible.
You also want to do ramped loading, which means when you pick an exercise and you get used to the technique, start to increase the weight over time. 2.5 pounds on the bar, 5 pounds on the bar, slowly over time, over weeks and weeks and months and months. If you can get your incline barbell press to gain, 15 or 20 pounds at the same rep range for you in terms of weight on the bar, hey man, you're probably growing your upper pecs. If you can't, I'm not sure exactly what you're growing. Potentially you can program some rep progressions. So if you've been futzing with like the 60-pound incline dumbbell press dumbbells, and you're like, what am I supposed to do? Go to 65? My reps will go from 12 to like 6. That's nonsense. No worries. Just stay on with whatever weight that you chose and increase the amount of repetitions by like 1 rep every week until you can't anymore. Then you deload, rinse, repeat, start at 3 reps in reserve, and go again. That way you might be able to hit the 50s.
He's right about that deload. You kind of need to bring that down. Your repetitions are going to increase at that point. So, you're going to be... I used to say my magic number is 10. And even just a few weeks ago, I've been saying my magic number is 10. That's great for beginners. But this deload stuff, once you've gotten in the gym for a long time, you really want to do a deload. It's going to give you more repetitions, but you're going to be able to lock in the technique better. And so at lower weights, you'll get more reps. You'll build up more lactic acid. And actually, I feel like you get a bigger pump that way too. And so that adds to the muscle fatigue. And so if you deload, you get more reps. Then, a week or two after your deload, you should be able to push more weight after that. You got to give your muscles time and adaptation to different scenarios for them to really grow. Especially once you've been in the gym for a couple of years, it is super hard to just keep doing the same thing and get any more growth.
For 12 rep sets on average in week 1, and then 16 rep sets on average in the final week. I was involved directly in a study where we tested only rep progression versus only load progression, and the rep progression group did a little teeny bit better under the hood in terms of growth outcomes than even the load progression group. But it's statistically undifferentiable, so we can confidently say, scientifically minded, that you get pretty much the same gains from adding reps as adding load, unless you get into above 40 or 50 reps and then it's too light. So progressing reps and dumbbells is definitely a thing you can do. And if you're doing push-ups, especially if you have push-ups where you put your feet on some kind of box or a bench, and then you have a deficit set up with blocks or plates, just beneath that, you can actually do push-up and get an incline upper pec activity, especially if you take your butt and angle it up a little bit on those push-ups. You get an amazing stretch. Somebody to follow who demonstrates that exercise incredibly well is Eric Janicki. First of all, he's big to the point where you're he looks big on TV. You see him in real life and you're like, I've never lifted weights, and why the hell do I even have a YouTube channel about this shit? Just massive dude, super sharp, really knows his stuff. The go-to guy for all really, really creative ways of working out. If your conventional exercises just aren't hitting your shit for you, go follow Eric Janicki. He's awesome. And he demos these push-ups amazingly well. He actually puts 2 really big dumbbells and goes all the way between them. It'll absolutely wreck you. And those exercises typically you can't load, because what are you going to do? Put a 25 on your back, have it slide up, hit your head, and embarrass you in front of that one girl who always wears those pink yoga shorts. And you've had so many thoughts about what's in those shorts, man. Why are you doing this to me?
Yeah, why?
Kelly. Scott Kelly's a girl's name, right?
Yeah.
It's also a guy's name.
Yeah.
You don't like guys named Kelly? What about guys named Courtney? That's a thing, bro.
Stop. Come on.
All right.
Who's named Courtney?
Dude, there's
NBA, look at this
former
guy.
NBA greats named Courtney.
Who's named Courtney?
When you're a 6'8" black dude, you can be named whatever. No one says shit.
They could call you Susie.
In any case, their rep progressions are awesome. So you can only do 12 push-ups like that as a second exercise. No worries. Next.
I really want to try to get these deficit push-ups into my routine. We're going to see if I can't get something like that going on here at home. So we'll see. I really like that idea. Push-ups for me have been great. It's especially starting out. It's perfect exercise to start hitting your chest. You can do them wide. You can do them narrow. They do all kinds of great work for your chest.
Week it's 13, then it's 14, and so on and so forth. So definitely do that. And of course, sets.
Okay. I'll definitely do that.
If your upper pecs haven't grown, maybe you have just not trained them enough. So start with 8 sets of total chest work per week, and over the weeks, work up to 12 sets. Cool it, take a deload, come back, start at 10, work up to 14, keep ramping like that. And after a while, you may be like, dude, when I finally got into the 15 to 25 set range for my pecs, much of that upper pec work, then I started seeing awesome gains. Before that, the gains weren't that great. It's a real thing. So experiment with really progressing volume, and you can really have a good time. Quick sample weekly workout, what that would look like. We have a gajillion of these in the RPI Hypertrophy app. Link in the description if you want to.
I really wanted to try this, guys, RPI Hypertrophy app. So if anybody has done this app, let me know how good it is, how well it works on adjusting your workouts. I would like to actually know. Put it down in the comments. Yeah, put it down in the comments.
Get in on that, but you can make your own and modify your own. Just carte blanche on that app. It's actually a universal program generator, so you make whatever program you want in there as long as it's trying to get you jacked. But a sample workout you could do is, on let's say you have Monday and Thursday is chest day, 2 international chest days. That's right, fellas, we're really observant here. On Monday, you start with high incline dumbbell press.
I wonder how smooth that head of his is, I wonder, How smooth. You think it's like a baby's butt?
60-degree angle, big arch, really let your chest open, super clavicular pec focused. And then afterwards, just lower the thing. Sometimes you can even use the same dumbbells
Flat dumbbell
and
press.
do some flat presses. So 2 exercise, super high incline dumbbell press and then flat dumbbell press. Awesome. That's day 1, starting with 2 sets of each in your program, working up to 4 or 5 sets of each, like that'll cook you. And then on the later day of your program, fourth day of the week, let's call it, Thursday.
That is one thing I've been doing too. Is I've added a 4th set to my exercises. So I do a warm up, and then I'll do 3 to 4. And a lot of times it's 4 nowadays. So I agree with this. It's 2 hours. Excuse me. It's 2 hours in the gym when I go to the gym nowadays. Otherwise, I feel like I didn't really hit my muscles. And that'll happen once you've been in the gym for a while. And so if you want to keep growing, that's what you got to do.
Day or something like that. Monday you do this workout. Thursday you do a low incline Smith machine press, different angle to begin with. We like variation. And then after you do high angle cable flies. So you put the flies in the very bottom part, stand forward, and then fly from below up to above. You can gently touch your fingers together or just get to where it's close to your face and come back down.
Smith machine
That's
press.
it. Guys, notice, this is a week of chest training for upper pec focus. There are only 4 total exercises. Start with a few sets on each one, progress to 4 or 5 sets on each. At the end, that's 15 to 20 work sets for your pecs. Most of that upper pec work, very likely you will have a good result. And if you're handling way easier the volume than I would, then just keep ramping. And then eventually you might be able to throw out a couple more exercises or do 5 or 6 sets of everything. And then you're really getting some bigger pecs.
Okay, well, the 4 exercises. I really like my my flies, man. I really like my flies. It gives me a great pump. So I don't know if I can only do the 4. I'm gonna have to add, see if I can add these to my repertoire. Let's see what I can do with these. These incline flies.
Let's talk about a few things that can derail some folks. So what kind of things should you not pursue if you're trying to get big upper pecs? One is over worrying about the angle. Like, I get questions all the time like this. What exact angle do I need to optimize upper pec growth? That does not exist because human variation is so high that we can't even pin one number. We can have...
I'm going to click back over here and see these 4 exercises here. High incline dumbbell press, which I do, but it's at 45. So I'm going to try the 60. Then we got this flat dumbbell press. So I do a regular bench press. I think I'll try that flat dumbbell press and see what goes on with that. And then here we got day 4. We got a low incline Smith machine press. Now, I have a low incline. Okay. As Smith machine press. I wonder if I could just do a regular press low incline, because we got a low incline over there at the gym that I work out. And so high angle cable flies. So here we are, flies, high angle flies. I guess I could try to do that too. Yeah, let's get that rolling.
At the end, that's 15 to 20 work. What exact angle do I need to optimize upper pec growth? That does not exist because human variation is so high that we can't even pin one number. We can have an average number, and that average is probably like 15 to 30 degrees or something like that for overall pec growth, and probably really good for upper pecs too. But then that's a different question, because what if my overall pecs are fine and I actually want my upper pecs to stick out a little more, which means I don't really want to grow my lower pecs, but I really want to grow my upper pecs? Well, then a 60-degree angle is probably much closer to optimal. So if you weren't about angles a ton, just do some goddamn incline work. And as a matter of fact, at least one study shows that reverse grip flat bench pressing fries your clavicular pecs, which kind of makes sense because you end up bringing your arm up this way.
Reverse grip.
It's a weird exercise. Get a spotter. Some people like it. Most people think it's the devil incarnate. I'm not going to render a judgment. Give it a shot. But over worrying about angles just ain't it. Try a bunch. Have some variation. As long as there's some, you're feeling your upper pecs get sore the day after, you're good to go. Another one is the top squeeze. A lot of guys get the...
so remember that whenever you guys are doing exercises, don't worry about whichever angle this guy's using or that angle this guy's using. You can copy their angle, see if it works for you. If it doesn't, then try a different angle, right? Your body, your height, your, length of your arms, the shape of your pecs, it's all different, right? We're all different. So whatever works for this guy may not work for you. So you go ahead and try a different angle. The exercises will all work the same, but your angle is going to be what you're able to discover in the gym. And like he said, the muscle soreness the next day, the day after that, that's really going to be the key to saying, hey, this is working for me. Oh, it's working.
Flies going and like, squeeze right here, brother, just squeeze it all in. The top squeeze might have some advantages. They've kind of eluded science for now, and we know that the stretch and the eccentric control on the way down is just more important.
Works.
And so top squeeze is cool, but don't piss away too much energy squeezing at the top when you could do some length and partials at the end of your set and really cook that bottom part.
Oh,
so
man.
don't overemphasize it.
No, those length and partials, like Sam Sulek, I seen that guy. He's squeezing out stuff, and it doesn't look like he's really doing nothing. But I tried that stuff in the gym, and it really adds to the pump. It really adds to that, and adds to the fatigue, and that those few extra reps that you get to work in the stress position are ultimate, man, ultimate.
Top squeeze in most situations. A related one is top end partials. Guys will be like, I need to really bring up my upper pecs. They get the Smith machine, put 4 plates in it, come down to here and come back up, chin height
garbage.
or something. And I always like asking guys, like, why don't you go all the way down? Nonsense, make-believe biomechanics comes out of their mouth. No offense, we all do dumb shit every now and again. I do dumb shit literally every minute. And so it's just not really a good compelling reason for it unless you're hurt or something like that. Your shoulders are messed up. Going all the way down for a deep stretch is really, really good. Even if you do your incline Smith pressing and you only ever come up halfway and then down all the way and then come up halfway and only come up fully to like rack right as you lock out, that's way better than just halfway up all the way up to the top. So consider that top end partial.
Yeah, stop your ego lifting. Stop that whole this is the stretched position for a chest. This right here, that you're not even bending your arms so that you don't even really get a lot of that tension down. If you can't get it down here and then back up, it's too heavy.
Those probably aren't it. And another one is a lot of folks just only ever do incline everything with no breaks. They're like, oh yeah, I need upper pecs to grow. You're like, okay,
I disagree with that too.
Incline everything. And you're like, do you want to do some push-ups? Like, nope, got to be incline. Like, regular bench? Nope, got to be incline. 30-degree incline, low incline? Like, nope, it's got to be 90-degree incline or some shit like that. Now it's shoulder pressing. Some people get really obsessive. And the worst thing is, if you do that for a few months, no big deal. But every now and again, you have to take the gas off and let your muscles recover, your nervous system recover, let the joints and connective tissues recover so you don't end up inclining your way into like a nasty shoulder situation. So what I like to do is for a few months, mostly inclines, though at least one flat movement per week is probably good.
Yeah.
Just to kind of keep that muscle there, keep the good function going. And then after that, take a few weeks at least and maybe a few months to just do all around pec work, maybe just mostly like just average pecs, regular presses, some low incline work. Okay. And then when you're kind of fresh and ready again for some more incline focus, upper pec.
I've been doing 3 months there and I've been hitting that upper incline. Maybe I need to give it a little rest, a little break. I don't know. I really don't want to. I like my inclines. I like my flat bench. I really like my decline, and I like my flies. So I like to do an all-around pec work. I want a full boob, all from top to bottom. So, I don't know if I'm willing to do that.
Focus stuff, then go back to more incline work, more upper pec work. Don't just like 365 only ever train your upper pecs because they'll get staleness to them. They don't just be the same all the time. Way too much pushing all the time, and the ROI is not going to be great. So coming back around to whole chest training, even sometimes focusing on mid and lower pecs at the expense of upper pecs for a bit is a really good way to refresh that muscle, come back later, hit it really hard. So in conclusion,
I guess I can agree with that.
The basics over time, fellas.
I don't know about months.
It does not take a rocket
terrible.
scientist to be able to figure this out. Even though, just as a hobby last week, I became a special rocket surgeon in the Doge force. That's right. Elon called me. He was like, hey, Mike. I'm like, who is this? How did you get my number? He's like, it's Elon. I'm like,
hey, Mike, tell Elon to give me a call, too. Yeah, I wouldn't mind working for Doge as well.
Like, I know a lot of people.
Oh, people are going to love that.
And, the conversation just like went off, and he was like, how do I run the government? Can you help me? I was like, dude, I got butlers for this. In any case,
I got butlers for this.
I'm a rocket.
Send me
Scott,
a butler my way, yeah?
Something or other. Man. Rocket Man. Is that Elton John?
Yeah.
Do you think Elton John's straighter than me?
I mean, arguably.
Basics work. Another one, focus on the upper pecs, then all around, then the upper, then all around, then the upper, then all around.
Okay.
That'll get you those awesome sawtooth gains that are kind of really, really long term. And if you need help, the RP Hypertrophy app has you covered. And
once again, guys, if you've used this app, let me know. Let me know what you like about it, what you don't like about it. It's kind of pricey for me, man. I got way too much going on. I have mortgage and all this good stuff, so I can't afford it. But let me know if it's worth it, I would really like to hear your comments down below.
RP Diet Coach app will get you well fed. These tell you what you should and shouldn't eat.
Yeah.
And all those links.
I don't really need the RP Diet app. I'm pretty good at picking out my macros and doing all this on my own. I use the cup method. I don't weigh my food. I use cup method. So if I want to be in a deficit, I'm having no more than 2 cups of whatever it is I'm eating per meal. If I want to maintain, it's 3 cups. And of course, I do my protein supplementation to make sure that I am getting to 200 grams of protein per day or more, because I do like to eat my meats and my eggs. So I guarantee you I'm getting probably 225, 230, every day. But I supplement with 200. So.
Or in the description if you want to pay us money so that I can continue to show up and pretend to be happy for you guys and pretend to give good advice, even though all of this I copied from other YouTube channels who will remain nameless so that I continue to be rich and famous and cry myself to sleep. See you guys next time.
Hey man, I'm trying to do the same thing. Here I am, copying there. Mike Israetel. I reacted to his videos and saying, yeah, I agree with most of that. And I'm also going to try some of this and we'll see how it goes. I will let you guys know in my video shorts how the progress is going on those. On the other note, I did try that Jeff Nippard's overhand lat work, and I didn't get any delayed onset soreness. I didn't get any, I didn't feel anything really. And then, like I said, at the top of that motion, there is no tension. And so I really didn't enjoy it. And it didn't really do anything for me. And so whenever I don't get soreness from an exercise, I throw it in the garbage. So maybe that's bad. Maybe I'm listening to my soreness cues too much, but that's kind of how I figure I'm building muscle. Anyways, thanks for joining me today. Thanks for watching the how to, what is this here? How to grow your pecs the best. So this guy here, he gives a lot of good info. I really like watching him. I've stolen some of his exercises. I've taken a lot of his advice. And if you take his advice, you can grow too. Now remember, if you're a beginner, the most important thing is just being consistent, getting in the gym. You will feel sore when you're doing exercises because your muscles are not used to it. So you don't have to worry about the increasing everything all the time just yet if you're a beginner, because you're going to get growth out for your first year, 2 years, no matter what you do. You could do the most dog shit exercises and really not do that great a technique, and you're going to get some muscle growth. Now, when you're starting to think about something more past 2 years of lifting, then you start to really need to key in your exercises and really focus on what you're doing. But until then, just get in the gym, just move some weight around. You're gonna grow. As always, leave a like, leave a comment, and subscribe. Yeah, boy!